All right, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us on Store Central as we talk with Sarah Strong after we just kicked off the UConn women's basketball season. So, Sarah, thanks so much for hopping on with us.
Thank you for having me.
So, I want to start with this one. You've been in stores a couple months now. How does it feel being up there? You adjusted and everything up at stores?
Yeah, it's good. It's kind of starting to get cold. People are, like warning me about that, but overall, it's good.
Yeah, yeah. Stores ends up being quite the wind tunnel. So make sure you get that jacket up
Yeah.
starting this time of year. We've gotten lucky to this point. That hasn't been too bad.
Mhm.
Um, But yesterday, obviously, your first game, first official game as a Husky, how'd it feel being out on the court, getting the uniform on, getting to play in front of the fans here?
It felt great. Yeah, just being able to play like with the team against another instead of the practice boys or practice players. It's been a lot of fun. It was a great environment. See a lot of people there, even for our first game, which was great to see.
Yeah, what's it like getting out of that practice environment and getting into an actual game situation, like you mentioned, against other players and another team?
It's great just to see like all like the hard work we've been putting in, at Worth, just show like how it pays off or like what we need to work on. Just really
Yeah.
like gives us like a view of where we're at.
I know there's always some jump making the move from high school to college. What was it like in terms of the pace, the action out there as you were playing in your first collegiate game?
Yeah, it's definitely different than high school. Like, oh my gosh, sorry.
Yeah.
It's definitely different than high school. A lot more faster and more like physical.
Mhm.
Not a lot of room for error, and coaches hold high expectations, which is also different for me.
Yeah, for sure. How do those expectations play out? I mean, obviously, those high expectations start at practice and then carry over into the game. So, how's it feel in the game? Going into these games with some higher expectations.
It feels good, just like to give me something to aim at.
Yeah.
You got to do what the coaches tell you. So
Yeah. So, well, I want to bring up something that the coach mentioned after the game yesterday in talking about you in your role and saying, hey, like, we got to see Sarah play like an All American every game. What does that look like to you if you had to describe what it's like being an All American out there?
definitely being confident. Being confident in, like my abilities, my teammates, not being consistent too. Not a lot of room for error either. So.
Yeah. As you went out there, I mean, you just stuffed the stat sheet yesterday. I mean, I'll read it off for those who might not know it offhand. 17 points, 4 boards, 3 assists, 6 steals. What about your game just allows you to do so much out there on the court?
Definitely my confidence. I feel like if I wasn't confident, I wouldn't be able to do anything. That's kind of what I've been focusing on since I've been here. So I take
Yeah.
a lot of pride in that.
How do you go about focusing on your confidence and just becoming more of a confident player out there?
Just knowing that the work that I put in during practice and after hours is gonna show up. So
Yeah. What's it been like for you getting to join this UConn team that's got some really experienced college players across the roster? I mean, obviously Paige and AZ, first two that come to mind, but getting to work with them and learn from them and their experience that they've had so far at UConn.
yeah, they're both great leaders. They've been here, so just taking in whatever they can give me. And they're just there for help and great players.
Yeah. As you look towards the next game here against USF, what are you looking to, just kind of coming out of the BU game that you want to see, out of you and the team in that game against South Florida?
Out of myself, I want to probably focus on my defense, being more like moving more on my
Yeah.
defense, and as a team, more communication. I feel like we do good, but we can also do a better job. Like just communicating, over communicating really helps.
Yeah. I know, this being the first game of the season, you guys have spent some time together this off season. How has that helped with the communication? Because I know that's always a big thing in talking with players, getting to kind of build that chemistry off the court as you get ready for the season.
Yeah, off the court's easy. I mean, everyone's like really likable. They're all friendly, so that wasn't an issue. But on the court, just it kind of ties into what we do off the court, how we get close and build that chemistry too.
Yeah. All right. I don't want to keep you too long. I got one more for you here. What's been the most surprising thing to you since you've been here at UConn? Is there anything that stood out to you?
Surprising. Oh, okay, yeah. Definitely like all the like the. I'm not gonna say like pregame like rituals, but like everything's so like I don't know how to explain it because like before the game. Hold on, I need to figure out how to word this because it's like really like
Yeah. Take your time.
um like I don't know how to say, like there's a lot of things that like has to happen, kind of.
Okay.
Like, not just on the court, but, like, in the locker room, like, you have to sit there or, like, before at pregame, you remember like, sit right there, like, you have to sit there for the whole year or something like that, like, everything's so, like
It's organized and routine
yeah,
now.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a routine, like, a lot of yeah.
Yeah.
Like
And I feel like going through that for the first time against BU, now you kind of know what to expect the rest of the season, but
yeah,
I realize how routine everything is.
like, a order when we come out the locker room or, like, "You gotta touch this," or I'm like, "Oh, wow, that's a lot."
Yeah. I always like asking this one. I know I said that was the last one, but as you're
Mm,
talking about routine and pregame stuff, what's the pregame meal of choice for you?
from pregame meal, whatever they give. I mean, I'm not really a picky eater, so I'm kind of, I'll eat anything.
All right, you're the opposite of me, so it's nice to see. And then just to get into learning a little bit more about you, pregame like music choice. What's in the headphones right now, and you're coming out there?
Any song by SZA, that's
Okay,
she's my favorite, so
all right,
any
there you
song by
go.
her.
All right, well, Sarah, I really appreciate you hopping on, talking a little bit about your debut here in the regular season. I know everyone's really looking forward to seeing what you can do the rest of this year here. So thanks so much for hopping on and talking with us for a little bit.
Thank you.